It's the final few seconds before the lights go out, and the race to the podium begins. You know this battle will be won off the track as well as on it. You've studied your tactics, anticipated every move like a grandmaster. You've researched and analyzed, modified and fine-tuned to perfection. You have honed your instincts to give you an edge over your rivals. Your drivers focused, your team ready. The championship in the balance. First past the checkered flag, the goal. Epic victory or ultimate failure. There is only a heartbeat between them. Motorsport Manager. Take control.
Hi everybody, the Mature Simmer here. So, welcome. I've been anticipating doing this for a little while. I came across this game a little while back, and I've actually spent some time with the mobile version for quite a bit to kind of get familiar with things and so forth. But I've seen the PC version, and the PC version is rather old, and it looks unfortunately like the developer, PlaySport Games, isn't really focusing on the PC market anymore. They've gone ahead and moved on and really have been focusing for years on the mobile market. So I don't know that we're ever going to see an update of this game. Now, I'm hoping the background sound and so forth isn't incredibly loud. I think this should be okay. I've kind of done things similar to what I've done in other Sims and so forth. But we'll see how this first episode goes. I'll certainly take a look at it, and if somehow you feel there should be adjustments, if things don't get adjusted over time, obviously drop a comment down below and let me know, because certainly I'd like to make this something that people enjoy watching, because my hope is I'm going to enjoy creating it. So obviously I let the game intro play. If you've never seen it before, I do think it's quite well done if you enjoy racing as I do. You know, definitely exciting, exactly what racing is supposed to give us and so forth. Now I will, with full disclosure, I'll be up front right away. I'm a NASCAR fan first. I'm really not an F1 fan at all, but I will say being involved in the game and this side of it, the management side, has certainly given me a better appreciation for it, and who knows, maybe this will be something I'll get a little bit more interested in. I've always had challenges with it in that I just felt the cars were too fragile, and I felt the fact that they couldn't bump into each other almost at all took away from some of the racing aspect, because if you've ever followed NASCAR, you know, rubbin's racing is a common phrase there, and you do any rubbin in an F1 car and it seems to explode. I'm sure aficionados of it would go ahead and tell me, well, that's because you have to have exceptional racing skills so that you can do these things, but yet not make contact and so forth. So the other thing I'm trying to do here, and this I have not done anything with, there is a workshop mod, which is F1 2022, which is the title screen that you saw after the intro video. And so I do have that installed. This video is not going to show you how to do that. There's things out there if you're interested in it. There's official videos that the mod maker has partnered with someone to make, Spartan Willie. So if you want to go ahead and do that, I've watched his material to get things loaded, including the optional mods that are highly recommended. So those are here. I do have any of the extra material, the DLCs and so forth, turned off because I didn't want to have anything happening that I wasn't expecting. So my intent in this series is to start with a F3 team, which is the lowest level teams in the sport as I understand it, and kind of work my way up from there, as opposed to taking over an F1 team and so forth. So my understanding with this mod is it includes all those levels, and what it has done is, you know, includes all the races, includes all the drivers. There is not an F1 2023 mod yet. Nobody knows if it's coming. I've seen people asking the modder questions in the workshop for this mod about, are you doing a 2023? And seen no responses, and it's been a month or so since some of the earliest questions have been coming up. So the modder may have moved on. This may be the newest we get. And since I'm not a follower of F1, I really was just more interested in, hey, let's use some real people and so forth, but I'm less concerned about, hey, do I have the latest liveries from this year and the drivers on the right teams and whatever. And especially since I'll be starting at the lower levels, I don't know that it really matters, because all the drivers that most people would know would be up at the F1 level, and they'll probably be gone and retired before I get up there. So if you've not seen the game before, I'm going to go ahead and kind of explain things as I go in the first few episodes, I would imagine, as I'm doing things, but it should become pretty evident how this functions. But if you like motorsports, if you like sims, I'm hoping this is going to be a great combination, because this is something I've really, really enjoyed playing. I have looked at F1 2022 Manager as well, and I feel this is a much more enjoyable experience than that. The other one is, you know, got all the licensing and so forth and a little bit of the polish, but as far as just the enjoyment of the gameplay, I find Motorsport Manager significantly better, and I think the comments in the community about the game as well seem to indicate that. There seems to be a lot more folks who enjoy this and think F1 2022 Manager is just not as good. So I think enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we're going to go ahead and start a career here. We need to turn on the F1 Manager 2022, because we're using that. We'll leave the tutorials on because I may have forgotten some things. My understanding is the mod is designed for the full-length format. So these are going to be long episodes. I don't know that I'll be moving ahead and speeding things up or not, because that's part of the challenge, is with the managing, you kind of have to deal with what is going on in real time. If you can't tell from my voice, I am not European. I am American, so I've got my game settings to the ugly American settings of, you know, everything that we use here. So we'll be dealing with dollars and the US date format. So the next step in the process is to set ourselves up as the manager here. So gone ahead and set some things somewhat randomly for the most part. You know, not my real birth date, obviously the name I'm using here in my channel, but I promise you my parents did not name me Mature Simmer, but that's who we are here. I am sticking with the US. That part is accurate. And then, you know, just went ahead and played around with the appearance, and this guy looks pretty good. So we're set there. The next and the last major choice we need to make on this screen is any kind of backstory, and that basically involves going ahead and giving you bonuses that can happen. So you can see we've got X drivers that give us driver feedback rating and driver improvement rate increase. And again, you got a former race-winning F1 driver recently hung up their helmet in the search for greater success as a team principal of a racing team, and drivers respect you more and you have increased improvement stats. And you'll have to convince critics you can adapt to a management role. Can also be an ex-engineer, several years of experience as a team's chief engineer, and that helps us drive part design time down by a day. Marketing expert makes payments to purchase things a little less expensive because we know the financial side of the sport. Former FIA official, we've got connections within the sport. So the game actually lets you vote for rule changes and so forth, so both we get more voting power and proposing votes, there isn't a charge for them, it appears. And then no known background, we nobody knows who we are, and we get no bonuses. So of all these things, I think I'm going to go with the X-Driver, because at the end of the day, that's the product we're putting out for people. We're trying to create a winning team, and the way to do that is to have our drivers just go ahead and do an incredible job for us and also feel comfortable. And so as an X-Driver, it seems the relationship is going to be better. They're going to give me better feedback, and they're going to also improve at a faster rate. So we're going to go with this. You know, I could go ahead and sit there and create my own team, but right now for this series, I'm going to go ahead and just take one of the existing teams. Racing, as I said, in the European Formula Series, and starting at the F3 level. I'm going to go ahead here, and you know, you can see obviously as we go up, there's going to be more events and so forth. So within F3, you know, kind of gives you the information here. I don't know the icons well enough. Again, I've played the game and so forth, or I've played the game more on mobile. I've watched things about the PC game. You know, as you might expect, as we go up and down, you can see things change, and obviously at the F3 level, things are the lowest. So we've got 3.4 liter V6s. The weight of the car is just under 1,400 pounds, 175 mile an hour top speed. And we're dealing with spec engines, so it's going to make things a little easier. If we look at the championship rules, we're going to see we've got practice sessions that last 12 minutes, 8-minute qualifying sessions, 27 lap races, 40 mile per hour pit lane speed, simultaneous pit stops, so you can do everything. The larger pit size crew makes this more expensive. Absolutely no difference in prize money awarded to the top and bottom teams. You get points awarded to the top 10 drivers, bonus points for the fastest lap, and we've got different things for a lot of options, as you can see. So cars cannot refuel during the race. That's an important one. And then again, we're using spec engines, spec front wings, spec rear wings, so we're not going to be able to do anything with those. So we'll go ahead with F3 as planned. Alright, so here we go. So I don't know if these are in order. They're not. Okay, so we can be part of an Italian team. Prima is the best one. Now let's see. Alright. So let's just look through these. So this is car performance. So we're through the rest of the series. These are drivers. This is going to be headquarters. So basically we've got a well-developed headquarters here. Got a weak staff. Not much for sponsors. And then pit crew's quite good. Pressure on us is medium, but the expected finish is up there. So we can kind of take a peek through here. You know, it's obviously easier to start out higher up, but it could be a little more entertaining to start out lower. And obviously there's less expectations. Interesting that we have a really good crew here, but everything else is kind of marginal. And so these guys, even though they have a really good staff and a decent crew, are there. Now the budget's also important. 3.5 million, 7 million, let's see, 9.5 million. It's just so tempting to start out with someone with a bigger budget. These guys could be interesting because they've got a big budget, but they're not expected to do very well. These also have a big budget. So, decent car, not such great drivers. And they are Red Bull, which is fun. Now, again, here we've got low. After looking through things, I don't know, I'm thinking I'm going to go with this team. See how it goes. So, High Tech GP, they're the high runners in the F3 Championship, but will be seeking to mount a serious challenge to Prema and Art for the championship. So again, the pressure's medium. We've got a similar budget, and I think this puts us in some competition. So looking at the suppliers as I look through the teams, because it's mainly a spec series, everything appears to be the same. The fuel suppliers, it's either Shell or Total, but they're same cost and so forth, and everything's very strong, very strong. So I think that's all good there. So let's go with this. Yeah, so this is just like an incredible photo as this car runs over this driver a bit. I cannot even imagine being that guy and what that had to be like. This is our central hub, so we can see here, we can hover over things and kind of see where we go. We've got 16 days till our race in Barcelona. We've got all types of tires, some super soft, medium, and then inners, or intermediates, and wets or slicks, or rain tires, I should say, which these two are used in wet weather. So it looks like previous future, so there's an edition of the Marrakesh GP. So I'm wondering, a new race will be added to the calendar next season. I'm sure we'll be told we have to vote for that at some point. So again, our job's secure at this point. And then, we've got our 9 events starting in Barcelona. This is our key hub. As a manager, we spend a lot of time, obviously, dealing with email and so forth. So we'll start out here. Greetings from everyone. We're delighted to have you as our new boss. All our engineers and mechanics currently working hard on the cars at our HQ. Wanted to pass on the greetings. Under your leadership, we're all looking forward to some great times ahead of us. I'm Julian. As your assistant, I'll keep you up to date on developments. I'll be around in the factory if you need me. We'll speak soon. Okay, good to meet you, Julian. So, Roman. Hey, boss. Wow, it's great to be working with you. This is going to be great. I just know it. I have a good relationship with Jack Crawford. I assume that's someone else on our team. We'll find out. So I hope you aim to keep everyone on the same page. Our car is looking strong at the moment. I'll be aiming for consistent results and lots of points. Oh, he's one of our drivers. I was trying to figure out who he was. Okay, and Jack is the other driver. It's great to have a legend of the sport as our new boss. So again, this is where we're starting to already see the benefit of being an ex-driver. Excited for the future of the team. We get on well enough, so it seems Roman thinks their relationship is better than Jack does. I'll be working harder than ever to impress you and the team. They want to be a better driver. That's always a good thing. And winning some silverware this season, so let's give it our best shot. And then our chief engineer, Elliot Dason Barber. Alright, the guys in the factory. Again, great to have a legend leading our team. It gives everyone a boost. Important not to get complacent on the design front. Facilities are decent. But if we can't improve the car, we'll need to make sure we invest in new technologies. Look forward to working with you. And then one of our scouts. The team's lead scout provide reports, so let's see what they're saying. Roman is one of the best drivers in the world. On top of that, his potential is good. You can see him improving. Roman's strength is his feedback, which is great, and we also give that a boost with our ex-driver information, so we should get a lot of good things from Roman. And his issues with adaptability. So Jack, Formula 3 terms, he's very strong and competent. He has a decent amount of potential. His strength is also his feedback, but he has issues with his adaptability. So the drivers are very much the same. And then this is, I'm sure, our backup driver. One of the more average drivers. His potential is decent, and given the chance to improve, he could become one of the better drivers in the world. His fitness is his strength, and he has issues with adaptability. So basically all of our drivers hate change. Wonderful. First race is close, so I'd recommend making any changes quickly. I don't know that I'm that ruthless of a manager, so I think we'll just stick with what we've got unless I see a reason to change. Alright, so the chairman, start of the brand new season. We need to set expectations for next year. I provided you with what I believe are ample finances to succeed, and I look forward to watching our cars on track. So based on last season and early performance of the car, I think we can achieve third. As my team principal, I'd like your input as to where you think we'll be. And I have to respond. I don't even know much about the team. I suppose I could just go safe. I mean, if I say 5th, obviously there'd be like, why did we hire this guy? He doesn't even think we can do what we think we can do. And given that I'm new to this and new to the game, I think 1st might be a stretch, so we'll go with 3rd. Alright, and the pit crew. Responsible for managing the pit crew. HR's got to get this guy a picture, I think, but, you know, maybe because this is the mod, they don't have a picture of Hugh, and so that's what it looks like. But there's 5 core stats. Going away to a race can be quite exhausting. It's a mental job. If a crew member becomes too tired, and then in recovery, pit crew members who don't travel will recover some stamina every race weekend. So I think I understand. So it looks like we've got something down here in pit crew. So let's take a look. Alright, so these are all the folks that we've got, and so you can see kind of where they rank and so forth. Now, do we have to hire people? Oh, I see, there's 5 people we can hire. So the best guy available here looks like a rear jack, maybe if someone who fixes. Although, well, his stats are better for front jack. But he's 2.5 stars. And as this tells us, you know, after each race, candidates will be added. It's often a good idea to reject applicants, as this frees up a slot for a different one. So, let's... yeah, these guys have really good stamina, and they also don't make a lot of mistakes. So before I cavalierly do that, let me just hold off on that. Can I see the stars? I see. Alright, but do I have to look at each person? Looks like I do. Alright, so this is the rear tire guy. The other front, that's the wing. So the other front tire guy. Mistake chance 0.4. Now this guy's probably my worst one. I don't know, it would seem that the thing to do is let's give the team a chance. What does this do? Automate management. The chief engineer will nominate. You nominate will take charge and will bench overly tired crew members, renew contracts, and replace retiring crew members. So, alright, I can automate things, which is a good thing. Alright, and then we have sponsors. Alright, so we do have an empty slot. So, Red Bull is with us. Wow, for 45 races. I guess that's good. That's certainly the longest I've seen. Same thing, and they're on here. It's a second slot as well. So, what do we need to do? It just says fixed per race day. Oh, these are fixed payment sponsors, so we don't have any. Oh, these are the bonuses. No? So, race bonus sponsors. Let's see what this says. Each race you'll be able to pick. Okay, so there are objectives. I just can't see what those objectives are. Okay, actually here it is. So 3rd or above. And then we would get 125,000. And this one just gives us a fixed payment, it seems, of 150. And now we can look at some options here. So let's see. So these are just fixed payments, where this gives us a target of finishing 7th or above, but I think it looks like they're not that great of a sponsor. So Hackett of London, you know, and we are a British team after all, so nice upfront payment, a good fixed race payment. I think we'll do that. So that's gonna increase our balance a little bit. That will help. So you can see we got Hackett up there on the car now. Marketability is not that great. Jack's got the biggest sponsor appeal that we have. I see. Building a helipad in the HQ will unlock 5-star sponsors, so we have to get there at a certain point. So let's see here at the HQ. We've got level 1 of kind of everything. So yeah, it just looks like we can kind of spin this around, but not do much else. Kind of right off the highway there, a little farm outside the factory, a little farm, well, farm everywhere it looks like. We're just out here in the countryside. Goodness, not really good brakes. So I know we can design parts and so forth, change the livery, so a lot we can do, obviously, as you can see. We've dealt with what we have to today. So let's see, because is there any, there's the calendar. So we're kind of going to be able to see, alright, those are our, what we've got. So acceleration and low speed corners are crucial. Again, we've got 2 weeks until Barcelona. Alright, if we click on this, we can kind of see what we've got. So it doesn't look like there's a whole lot happening. So let's go forward. So I think we're getting a few emails here and there. Let's pause. So we've got some mail, and there is a must respond, so it may have stopped on us anyway. Alright, so this is just our announcement from BBC Sport that we've been hired for high tech. And then analysis, and they take a big risk with appointing me. Fans and pundits are divided. This person's excited about my appointment. Certainly set the cat amongst the pigeons. This is a phrase I am not familiar with. Should provide plenty of excitement, if nothing else. So obviously cats would be attacking and killing pigeons, so we'll see. But here, I'm not sure Simmer has enough clout in motorsport to achieve much success. A former champion whose name will remain anonymous told me. Whatever the opinion of fans and pundits, the result is on the track. Very true. Alright, so an interview request with the race. Congratulations on joining iTech. Are you interested in doing an interview for the race so that we can get to know you a bit better? I think I probably should do this. So let me accept this. Alright, iTech are one of the top teams in this championship, and expectations will be high. Are you ready for such a task? So let's see. I'm here to win. There's always critics. I should be judged on the results. This is a big job. I'm definitely realistic. I will need time to adapt. Well, I think I'm going to go with I'm here to win, plain and simple. Alright. Will Roman Stanek be your #1 driver, or will you give Jack Crawford a chance to be a team leader? Well, they're equal status right now, and I don't see a reason to give them anything different. Jack's potential is better, because that's what the outlines around the stars are. If it were up to me, I would know. Well, that would not help. Until I say if it up to me, I'd rather not have either of them driving my cars. That's pretty good. We're a team that's committed to open racing between our drivers and off. Roman Stanek is the team's lead driver. Yeah, they're going to be equal. Alright, in my season preview for the race, I predicted your team to finish 3rd. What do you think about this? I want to win, that's why we're racing. I think that's a fair assessment. We always want to perform to the maximum, and then we'll struggle. 3rd will be too much to achieve. Well, given that I told our chairman we're going to get 3rd, that answer I better not give, or I'm going to be in their office. Yeah, I see. So it looks like, actually, no, his morale went up. Alright, so we'll do that. I think that's a fair assessment. Many drivers have turned their attention to management to make success. Will you buck the trend? I've won at all levels and I expect to win here again. I'll be disappointed if I'm not winning races. Know my skills, I'm confident. And I'm here to get the best out of everybody. Whether or not I succeed is for you to predict and me to demonstrate. So I'm going to go the middle of the road answer. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, that's all my questions. Thanks for your time, Mature. Alright, so we've got that done. Alright, so let's continue on. So, does it stop? Alright, I was gonna say, I think it stops at some point, is what I'm used to. So, let's go to our unread messages. Alright, so the upcoming race, it's gonna be a 53 lap race, 2.23 miles. On the weather front, things are expected to be dry. There's a 10% chance of rain. So we should probably be able to stay on regular or on race tires. So they've chosen super soft, soft, and medium. Track is abrasive, but our car is one of the best on the grid when it comes to tire wear. That's all from me. Alright. And our design center is severely lagging behind the rest. I know it's a lot to ask, but can we find some cash to make an upgrade? We'll see a real boost of our performance. Well, let's see. So you said our design center. Goodness, we'd have to use 8 million. Yeah, we just, I get what you want there, Elliot, but it's just not there right now. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to make sure we can do well with what we've got. We understand we want to improve, but this takes a little bit of time here. So, sorry about that, Elliot. Can't do it right now. Alright, so excitement in the paddock. The winter break is over. There are new drivers and cars. It looks like Prima are the class of the field. Arthur Leclerc will go into the season as the bookies' favorite for the title. New high-tech boss, Mature Simmer, will be out to impress the rest of the paddock. Any finish around third place would be seen as a hugely impressive result for the American team principal. Alright, I guess that's a good thing. So let's see. So we're just traveling to Barcelona today. Alright, so we need to do sponsor selection. So 10th or above, we can get 96,000. Or Ural Kali, 3rd or above. I think we're gonna go ahead and just play it safe so that we have some cash coming in. So again, acceleration, low speed corners are the most helpful. Okay, and then for part fitting, alright, everybody's happy. I don't know that we have different parts to change. So yeah, everything's original. Doesn't look like we're doing great in low speed corners for anybody, but acceleration, we're in good shape there, so I like that. So what we may need to do is improve the performance. Let's see. So this is, yeah, I don't know if we can get the performance up too high, but I'm also not clear what's gonna help. So let's see. If I do the suspension, okay, all of this is going to be 7 days after the race. If I autofill, what are they suggesting? Alright. Similarly here, alright, so to increase the reliability of the engine. Now, if I change this, oh goodness. Staff, alright, so if I have this, oh I see, because I have to split them. Wow. Well, I probably should just be even and then it'll do that. So, we're not going to get anything for a while. That's okay. So I think then we're all set. So it's going to be time to go to the race here. Alright, round 1, Barcelona. So Forecasting Center will provide you with more information about weather conditions on race weekends. Alright, so there's no voiceover, which I wouldn't expect. That's a difference. F1 Manager has all the fanciness and so forth. Alright, so we've got Car 1, I assume, will be Stanek. Car 2 will be him there. They're suggesting, I assume, soft and super soft. Let's see. The mechanic and driver as happy as possible. So you would think we'd want to adjust this a bit. Because if the mechanic's recommending this... Okay. I see. I have to adjust the parts here. So... Alright. If I do that... So this will increase my downforce. So according to this, we need significant changes. So we'll do that. Now acceleration was key. So I think we're going to want to put the gear ratios down. Get the handling up a little bit as well. And then the camber... Let's see. A little bit lower on the tire pressure. Actually, I want to be going that way, so... Alright, so we'll head that way on the camber. That's looks like that's as far as I can go. Alright, we'll leave the tires, because obviously we need to test the various tires. Alright, so we'll do the super softs. Alright, and then for his setup, he also needs some improved downforce, so let's get him to like, I don't know, 17.5. Can I? Mouse won't move that way. There we go. And then maybe we'll get him up to 26.5. We'll again shorten his gears and move the camber out, and we'll get his stiffness down to 25%. So we'll see what that looks like. He's on softs. Alright. So I think we're okay. Let's get them out there. So yeah. We're going to take practice. And so we're going to send him out. Alright. So there we go. He's headed out. Let's get Crawford out as well. So we've made all our changes. I'm going to follow Crawford just because. So let's see. Oops. Alright. So... I'm not sure. Let's move out a little bit. We don't need to be that close in. Obviously, at this point, we're really just trying to see what they do. So now, what I don't know... Alright, current form. A driver with a 10 is driving to their utmost ability. So, I saw Stanek. He's at 7. So, right now, yeah, Crawford's not doing so great. But yeah, this is kind of the heart of Motorsport Manager here. Now, with the F1 2022 setup, we've got enhanced camera and enhanced graphics. So some of this, because like in the base game, my understanding is like the wheels don't spin, for example. So like as we zoom in here, we'll get some pretty good looks. Alright, so Roman setting a new fastest sector 1 time. So basically the purples are... green is they've done better than they've done before in that sector, but the purple is the leader out in the field. So right now Crawford has got the fastest sector 1 time. You know, because they're setting a fastest sector just because they've not gone through them before. But right now, it looks like Crawford's actually leading. Okay, now Stanek is second. Let's see where we end up. Crossing the line soon, I'm sure. There we go. Well, Crawford's the worst, almost the worst of the bunch that has come in, so... not doing great. So now Stanek's on super soft, so you would expect him to be a little bit faster. But we're going to have to see kind of what the feedback is. You know, the other thing they gain is kind of setup knowledge. You know, the more they gain, the better feedback they'll give. So, because the season's new and so forth, this is always a challenge. But, you know, they'll get better as we go through the season on this. So, alright, the heading isn't very responsive. But they're both driving relatively well. But now they're coming in. So we'll have to take a look. And we can go ahead and pause and take a peek. So let's see, if we send them out so he gains some knowledge. Let's see what he tells us. So they like the downforce. They don't like the speed balance. So probably a little bit more to the top speed. So let's see. Let's try this. We don't want to move the handling too much, because they're okay with it, but I want to move the speed balance more. Alright. And then we're going to continue. We're going to let them go out for 1 lap. We're going to give them another set of super softs. And we'll send him out. And then on Crawford... again, their knowledge has increased. Let's see what they're looking at. Alright, they're not as happy with the downforce. They think the handling's poor, but they're okay with the speed. So I'm assuming they want more downforce, so we're going to crank this up for them quite a bit. See if that helps. And then, since we're more on acceleration, we're going to move this needle a bit. Now, I think if I change the camber and the tire pressure... Alright, so we're going to try that. We'll kind of stick with the same tires. And now we'll go forward. So let's follow Stanek this time. So, merging in there. Not sure if the previous car... I don't know, is that Cohen? No, Cohen's there, so... not sure there's a way to tell who's ahead of us right now. Well, actually, we are what? We're 8th. So the 5th place car, so that's probably Behrman in front of us, and he's running a qualifier right now. So he's on his lap. We're still on our out laps, obviously. You know, the good news is we should get the setup knowledge into the next section. So there we go. Qualifying trim we've unlocked. We need to have another look at the setup. The car is still too slow. Alright. Really sorry about that, Crawford, but... Alright, nice job with the handling. Alright, well that is good to know that he's appreciating that. So, I've now dropped a little bit, but we're obviously not making any time yet. So, again, we're checking these bars here for our drivers. So, once they hit the first sector, we'll get a little bit of information. Looks like we're slower than we were before, which might make a little bit of sense because we decreased the acceleration, but the top speed is higher. So one would hope on certain areas of the track that we'd be doing a little bit better. I mean, because we're up here now. You know, the long straights are there, but we already have gone through that. Yeah, this is not boding well. Crawford did a little better, so he may jump up, but I don't think Stanek is going to gain any spots. Alright, Crawford, well, Stanek is up to 5th, so I guess they did a little bit better, but the challenge is we've still got folks out. You know, obviously this is all we're going to be able to do in practice here is those 2 runs. So the active knowledge here on the tires, the qualifying trim is going up. So drivers are, you know, they keep gaining skills as they go. So even though, you know, they're not racing, they're just on a outlap coming back into the pits, like they're still gaining some knowledge here. Alright, so practice is over. We're just waiting for everyone to come in. But yeah, 5th and 7th. It's not 3rd, but I would think again between the super softs and the softs, those are going to be what we're going to work with in the main race. So, for my first outing, I suppose, I can't really complain, because I don't have anything to compare it against, and obviously we just need to keep trying to make improvements. Alright. So, you know, we're not that far off. I mean, these certainly, you know, there's cars that are 3 or 4 times worse than we are. Alright, so these are just messages from practice. I expected more from high tech. Saucy set the pace. Prima Leclerc second, Nani and the 3rd team. So let's see. Alright, qualifying. So again, our objective is 10th or above to get 48,000. Given that both our drivers were higher than that in practice, I would hope we're okay. So let's see. If I give them qualifying trim, it's the only thing I can do, so it would seem that I'd want to do that. The green sweet spot in qualifying is bigger, giving the driver a better chance. Can I do both? Yeah, looks like we can. So yeah, I don't think, yeah, we don't have an option for him. Alright, they're both doing super softs. So I would say, let's see. They still would like handling. So what do they want? Less downforce? I don't understand. Just, I hate to tinker with this too much. It's moving the speed balance too much. Alright, so we're going to go with this. We're going to stick with that. And now he's really unhappy with the speed balance still. So let's get him closer to the middle. I mean, he was pretty happy with the handling, so I don't want to move things too much. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and take qualifying. Send them out. Obviously we've done all that. I suppose I don't need to do all those adjustments at that point then. But we'll get them out. So, again, we're matching expectations, but... So let's see. Brake temp, tire temp. It was clear air optimization. I'm not sure what that does, so I'll turn that on. Oh, I see. Because these are the settings. Alright, their brakes are getting overheated. That's not great. Now, can we not change their strategy? It doesn't... I wonder... I don't know if that's because I'm auto. It could be, but for now, let's let the team do their thing. I've kind of hopefully set them up for success. Problem is, both of them are driving quite poorly, if you look at this. Again, I just need 10th or above. I mean, I'm glad I didn't pick 3rd, because I just don't think we're capable of that. So moving along. Now Saucy's still doing well. Here's our sponsor objective, in case we're keeping an eye out on that, which certainly we are, because our goal is obviously to make money for our team. You know, first time around, we're obviously going to be up there, but you know, we've got kind of our one chance to qualify, because you don't have a whole lot of time otherwise. Alright, well, no, Saucy beat us a bit, but we've got a few that have showed up below us. Crawford is up there, it looks like. But we'll see. Stanek keeps falling. This is not a good thing. Got Bierman set a new fastest lap. So we've still got half the field. Basically, you know, we'd be in the top 10 right now because everybody has... We haven't had enough drivers finish, but we're falling down. We just need one driver to meet the expectation. So as long as Crawford doesn't fall out, we'll be alright. So I think we're okay, because nobody's got enough time to go back out. So we will have matched our expectations, so we'll increase our coffers by 48,000, which is really exciting. It's always a good thing. And now obviously we're just waiting for everyone else to come in. So the question is, what do we adjust? We've got to make some changes for race day. I mean, we could go back to the setup that got us where we were. Wow. So the strategy I tended to use in the past was I would pick longer run tires and run them harder. And or just run them, and then we could pit later, and that seemed to put me in a good spot. I don't know if that works as well on the PC version, which has a lot more options than the mobile version does. So let's see, we'll speed this up a bit so that it ends. Alright, so Bierman got first for Prima. And then we are 5th. And Roman got close. I mean, he was 12th out of 18, so not terrible, but There we go. We got our 48,000. Had a great day. High Tech did okay. Not on P1, but you can't ask for everything. So we've got the NBC folks. Again, all of these things I think are part of the mod to give us some real groups. Okay, and our race objective obviously is 10th or above. So we've got all the teams out on the grid. So let's take a look. So, okay, there's nothing to pick for him. And nothing to pick for him, it looks like. So, yeah, we can't use any of that knowledge. I don't understand quite why. Alright, so let's see. So, qualifying, 1-5. So that was best, so I guess we're going to want to use this setup. And he was on super softs. He's my best guy. I gotta just stick with it. I don't wanna futz with it and then have a problem. Alright, what about him? He also had his best outing then. Not by much, but I mean, again, he seems happy, so I think we'll stick with it. Problem is we don't have a lot because we can go 18 to 20, so that's the thing. Like if I go with softs, you know what, I'm going to take a chance given that he's back anyway. And we'll see, that'll give me a view of how this works in game. Alright, and then the driver strategy, we're just going to stay neutral and medium, but just so you understand. So on the driving style, we can change this. We'll do that as we go through the race and as we see what's going on. So this has to do with tire wear. So if I have them attack, I'm going to wear tires more. If I have them back off, they'll wear less. And then these are fuel, where they're going to be pushing hard to overtake or holding back to conserve. Very rarely will I start a race without just the base strategy. Alright, so here's our starting grid. And as we saw, you know, Jack is up there in 5th. Alright, so we've got our race getting ready to go. Let's go with Crawford here. So I'm already falling back to 6th. That's not really a good thing. 7th? What? Or no. Someone else is in 7th. Now I'm in 7th. What is happening? And why? Come on, Jack. You're better than this. And you're on super softs, for goodness sake. Alright. Come on. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in him. He's moving along. Ooh, a little bit of scraping there. Oh, can he pass? He did? Can he keep it? Can he keep it is the question. Come on, Crawford. Come on. Oh, so close. He's going to get overtaken again if he's not careful. Nice. Nicely done. Wait a minute. How did he fall back suddenly? That was bad. Oy. Alright. The Stanek strategy isn't working really well either. Yes, I know I'm off target. Alright. So we're back up to 10th. But we are definitely having some challenges here. Yeah, so the strategy here, then this is how we could go ahead and, you know, make some changes. Alright, 143 miles per hour there. 5.1, so Crawford's definitely driving more to his potential. But Stanek, he's moving up. He was 16th before. He's got 2 cars ahead of him. We can see him back here. So let's see. I think if I hide the HUD entirely, I then don't really see anything. All right, Crawford. So I'm getting a little confused because some of these tags, like I don't know exactly why they're highlighting these cars versus the. I mean, now it's clear it's 10th and 12th, but like they're surrounding the driver I'm watching, but. Goodness, we're gonna fall to 12th if we're not careful. Like, this is not a good way to start the season, boys. I don't understand. I mean, my hope is Stanek will be able to stay out and he might be able to make it a 1 pit stop race that way. I mean, I can certainly do that with Crawford as well by going ahead and, alright. You got past can't get past Schumacher, okay. That sounds like a you problem. I can't help you do that. You've got to drive a little better, Stanek. Come on. So, moving along. Now the one thing, down here, I'm not seeing what lap we're on. Now, I think this... that's the 2D view. This is the 3D view. Obviously, the 3D view is more exciting, more interesting. Pretty soon, my drivers will be racing each other. So there we go. Now they're together. I don't know that that's really going to help any. So... yeah, I don't know that I want to push anything yet, but the other problem, well, Stanek needs to stay ahead of that pack. He's going to have some real problems. Ooh, looked like there might have been a little bit of a lockup. Can't get past Campos. Yes, I've seen that. I don't know that you've gotten close enough to him to really think of getting past him, though. Alright, so Crawford's definitely running better. I am going to put him into push a bit here. We're going to change his strategy. We'll see how that works. Because that may be enough, but now that he's, gotten his form up, because you can see the form here, not so good. 4.1. Oh, look at that, come on. Ah, he's on the inside, don't spin out. Come on, now you're gonna lose a position to your own teammate? Crawford. Alright, well, they're both pushing hard, which is good. Just don't create a problem for each other, guys. You're on the same team. So, let's not forget that. So, Stanek is passed right now. Look at that. They both came through, so they helped each other out there. I like that. Alright. So, let's see. I mean, we've still got a long way to go, especially if we're going to pretend that we're going to be able to be third at any point this year. Alright. Crawford gets by. Stanek's form is improving a bit. Now we've got someone right on our tail. We've got Headley coming up pretty strongly. But truly in front of us, but truly is truly quite a ways ahead. So it's going to take a bit of work there. I wish that Crawford's form would get a little bit better, because that would probably help him. Alright, I'm at 65% on my tires. Obviously Stanek will be less because he's running on softs rather than super softs. But Crawford is pulling ahead of Stanek, which I would expect a little bit. And he's going 144 instead of 143. So he's increased his pace. Sorry guys, I can't pass truly. Alright, just keep working at it, Crawford. Keep working. It's all we can do. It's a long race. We've only got 7 laps in the books here, so we've certainly got time. Oh, his form's getting a little worse. Stanek's getting a little bit better. Everybody's sparking out there at the end of the pit lane. Wonder if there's a bump in the track or something going on there. I don't know. So I'm trying to understand. I think this is telling me he's improved his pace in both Sector 2 and 3. Alright. And at this point, obviously passing a car is an improvement, that's for sure. You know, the challenge is, am I creating enough tire wear that I'm going to have a problem? It's supposed to be 18 to 20 laps. So I should be okay. Alright, we're fighting for 10th here. That would get us up to our sponsor objective. And the nice thing is Stanek is coming along as well. So the good news is we've moved on. The team is fighting pretty hard. Alright, come on guys. So a little bit of that pace out there. Alright, Stanek is battling with Truly. Crawford is making up ground on the 10th place position, I believe. Viscal should be able to hopefully catch him. You know, the challenge becomes, I mean, we're down to 46%. Alright. Yes, guys, that was a fun battle with Viscal. Alright. And now he's going to get it back from you? That's not fun. Come on. Come on. See, you got too excited, calling out to me on the radio, and see, so there's that pit lane thing where everybody keeps having a problem. See, these guys that are out on mediums, I don't think they can make the whole race, but they're going to do a lot better than what we're doing. Alright, I'm gonna back him off, back to neutral, because I just don't want to overdo the tire wear. My concern is he's going to get caught again, but maybe not. Because I've also got the current condition, you know, because the high wear, I'm assuming, means I'm wearing faster than I would expect. Which makes sense, because I've kind of been on that more aggressive strategy for 4 or 5 laps to get him back up here. Now, and Stanek has just kept running at his regular pace, and he's crept up as well. And again, I think Stanek will get some spots because he'll be able to stay out. He's one of the few. I mean, we're one of the 3 people, as you can see, on softs. So, Nanini is another one, but, you know, because what we can't tell, I don't think, I'm not sure, can I look? Yeah, I guess I can see. So they are changing his strategy to press and so forth. periodically to try to catch us, so they're hitting his gas. Okay, I'm struggling to overtake Headley. Radio messages are just, you know, status. We're not getting any. Oh, the car's falling apart yet. Alright, we're defending 14th. That doesn't sound good. That probably means we're losing 14th. Alright, I'm keeping a decent enough span from 11th, I think. The form of both drivers has now kind of come up to equal. So they're kind of getting into the groove. Problem is Crawford's form is falling, while Stanek's is improving. But 29%. Eesh. Problem is I really push those tires. It almost... If I go onto mediums, I might be able to just do it on one stop, but I think because I push the super softs, it created a bit of excess wear, certainly. If I back off, I think I'm going to get caught. Just not sure. Because, yeah, right now the field's getting relatively spread out, which is not great. Just don't know. I think I can only get another lap or two on these tires, because, yeah, now I'm in red. They're probably going to start radioing in. I can speak. I can say that easily. Not really. But, yeah, they're probably going to have a problem here. But this is not going to be a great start for the team right now if this is where we end up in mid-pack. Oh. I want to pit for fresh tires. I understand. I think I'm going to have you go one more lap. Alright, so some of the other teams are pitting. So, he just came in and got softs ahead of us, so... Alright, so we're going to go ahead, and at this point... Yeah, mediums would get me there. That might get me there too, though. 40... Yeah, I can probably do it on softs. So let me do that. Okay, parts are decent. Alright. So that is our pit strategy. He's got, 62% of the tires. This was part of the benefit of the strategy on the softs. But we're going to keep an eye on Crawford and see where he ultimately ends up when he gets out of the pits. I mean, we've got people behind, and the hope is the people on the super softs ahead of us, too. Like, I would think everybody's got to be pitting this lap. So Bierman is pitting. It just, we're not anywhere near anything yet. Like, we only have one pitting. So there we go. Got that. Those are complete. He's out. Not bad. Again, we've got 5 cars up ahead for sure that will pit. But yeah, we're down to 16th now. And the mediums are going to be a challenge. So Stanek is up at 10th. His form has gotten terrific. So it's just taken him a little while. Oh boy. Because, yeah, we've got a long way to go to 15th. Just not sure who's going to be my driver. So we've got a couple people pitting, but once again, I don't think we're going to pass them. We may. Yeah, it looks like they're both coming out. Because, yeah, you can see we've got still 4 cars ahead of us that have not stopped. So we've got this stops column. So, you know, in here we can kind of see what everybody's strategy is. There's definitely Foster and Bierman are running very, very aggressively. Hopefully that will cause them a problem. And then these are just, okay, so we've got the tire history as well. Look at Stanek, he's up to 8.2 in the form. He is 8.3 now. He is really locking in. That is for sure. So I'm going to move over to take a peek at him here. Alright. I was going to say, we gained another on someone in the pits. And still 3 more ahead of us. And the nice thing is they're only 6-7 seconds ahead, because, I mean, Saucy is way up there. I mean, I don't think we're going to be anywhere near him when he finally pits. I just don't know if he's been running conservatively. He's been on super soft since the beginning. I don't understand how his tire wear is that. Now, once again, I guess I was running aggressively, so maybe he did not run as aggressively, and that helped. But look at Stan, 8.8. Right now, like, he is on fire, where Crawford is, like, forgotten how to drive. He's 4.6. I don't understand. So Stanek is my guy right now. Wow, 8.9. Is he going to get into the 9s? And there's 3 cars up ahead. So this is definitely looking hopeful here for some pretty good stuff. I mean, it's just a matter of what's going to happen when I need to pit. I obviously can't run these tires till the end. But yeah, we're at 9.1. I mean, I think he's just loving his time out on the track right now. That is for sure. So whatever we can do to encourage him. This is, man, and then I feel bad in that press conference. I had the opportunity to say he's my #1 driver, and I just was like, nah, they're equal. They're not performing equally right now, I'll tell you that. Alright, so did Saucy, yeah, Saucy pitted already, so as you can see, he's still in 3rd. He fell a couple spots, but, so, I don't think I'm going to catch any of those. And it's going to be quite a while, I think, before anybody else pits. But look, if I can get ahead of Smolyar. Oh no, Smolyar did pit. I didn't pit. I'm looking at myself at the 0. You know, and there's people in the back that haven't pitted yet, but, you know, we've got Nani and Simons, but I think they're going to be quite a while. I mean, we're just past 50% tire wear now. It just, I think with our form, I think we are slowly catching Smolyar. So we'll see. We've kind of got our gap here, you know, 0.77. You know, I think when it's green, we're gaining. And obviously if it goes red, I think then we're losing. And subsequently, also I think behind us, if they're green or red, that kind of shows the movement in relation. But we're certainly closer. I mean, we can see it visually now. I mean, we are right there. You know, and the nice thing is, like, they have already pitted, so they're wearing their second set. Alright, nice work, guys. That was awesome. Not sure what they did, but we'll go with it. Because, yeah, it's potentially possible, depending on how they play it, that the ones with medium tires might make it. Ooh, look at this, look at this. Don't hit, don't crash. Got the inside on that curve. We've got another inside curve coming up here, I think. Oh no, wrong way. Alright, we are fighting for this one, that is for sure. Alright, we're alongside again. Now we do have a little chicane here. And then around, long straights. Oh, he is trying, Stanek. You are trying. 9.7 though. Look at that. You're gonna hit the holy grail of the 10 at some point? I doubt it. That would be unreal. But wow, he's at 9.8. I mean, he is. But all this battling, the 9th place cars come up here, and now it's suddenly become a bit tense. Alright, we're getting closer. We're gonna get past him this time. Now we've got 4 of us all packed together. Like, this is not what I want to be seeing. I am quite sure those drivers are pushing hard, though. I'm gonna keep Stanek where he's at. I mean, his form is 9.9 for God's sakes. Like, I don't want to radio him any commands. I don't want to suggest he push harder. Like, I just need to let him do his thing. The nice thing is Crawford's gotten back up to 7.1, so he's at least appearing to know how to use a steering wheel again. That's always an important capability. And he's battling with Philippe Ugran, it says. And there we go. Wow, we did hit 10. I love it. Now, can I see how the other drivers are doing? I can. So Foster's at 10, Saucy's at 10, Edgar's at 10. A lot of other people aren't so good. But yeah, the guys behind us, you can see they keep like adjusting their tire. Like they are pushing. And so hopefully me being conservative is gonna pay off in the end. That's what I'm banking on. You've been stuck behind Charouz for ages. You have. I don't understand who Charouz is, though. It's not even a name on there. So, interestingly enough, but alright, we're getting close again. Right on the bumper there. And our form is definitely better than his form. I mean, he's not. The other guy's not better than us when we're at 10. I'll tell you that. So, but this is still a crazy battle. Wow, he suddenly took off. Like he's almost a second ahead. What happened there? It's like we misdrove the corner. I don't understand. Come on, Stanek. So, all good. And just kind of watching the tire wear, 33%. I mean, I probably have a good 5 to 10 laps left, that's for sure. Coming up on halfway. So I'll probably be able to go with 2 sets of softs. And that will work fine. But if I can go a little longer, like if I can stay up here and stretch these tires a bit, I then may be able to push on the softs a little bit at the end. So that is what I'm hoping for. All right. We just cannot deal with Smolyar or Churuz or whatever he was calling him. So I'm wondering if those are like the base driver names, and sometimes the messages don't pick up the right name with the mod we have. I don't know. Alright, 28 laps remaining. Crawford is still 14th. I mean, form's not bad, but they're not doing terrifically. So yeah, I've just got 2 people ahead of me that have not stopped. Everybody else has and probably will make it to the end. There's 2 people in the back, 16th and 17th, Headley and Schumacher, that have not either. Alright, we're creeping up again. I'm thinking we might get by this guy at some point, and then we're just... Okay, well, what strategy do you want? I understand all this, but... like... if I have you push too hard, like, I'm not touching it. We're just sticking with the strategy we have. 'Cause otherwise, I want to save it for the end, Stanek. Sorry. So just take it easy. Stay in that midpoint, and let's. It's okay if we're maintaining 8th right now, because I'm hoping a little bit of an aggressive strategy at the end might pay off. It may not, because the cars are really getting spread out on the track. So that's kind of the danger we've got here. I mean, you can see, like, the 6th place spot, like, is up there. And obviously the 1st and everybody else is also got a pretty good gap. So, I don't know, maybe this will be terrible and it won't work. But I think if I can get through to lap 30-31, that's what I'm going to try. Maybe even 32. So there we go. We're on lap... it should be lap 29. Oh, because we're not first, that's why. So now we're finally on lap 28. It just took us that long to get there. And once again, we have fallen behind. So, I don't know if Smolyar is suddenly changing strategy and pressing, but he is taken off, I will tell you that. And it could be our tires being a bit worn. So now the first car crossed the line, so we're on lap 29. So I'm just trying to keep an eye out on the 9th place numbers down below. Yeah, it doesn't really show like a red. Basically it's green and white is how those change. So I think the white is they're keeping pace or catching up. The green is then beneficial. But at this point, yeah, 7th position is now almost 3 seconds ahead. I don't understand. Yeah, I understand you've got serious tire wear. We're trying to push it a bit here. Just go with me. We're going to come in after the next lap. Like once we hit 30, like you're going to go around one more time. You can do it. I know you can. You're running as a 10 form. Like if there's anybody that's going to be able to handle tire wear like this, it's going to be you, man. I just know it. Because here, we can pass Nani in the pits. Did we pass Nani in the pits? No, I think he came out ahead of us somehow. Well, we got closer. Alright. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go with softs. Parts are fine. See how much of a risk. Yeah, we'll leave it as balanced and because I'm not going to make up enough on the pits. I mean, I would make up a couple seconds and cars are too far apart, so I need to be conservative. I'm almost tempted. Do I want to change my strategy to safe? Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, wait. So, I need this. I need to change the strategy to safe. There we go. So, that should work. Alright, so we are 8th, so we are there. So we are coming up here. This is time to pit. So let's see how this goes. Got that changed out. 10th, 11th, 12th. Oh boy. Alright. Alright, so 12th potentially isn't bad. Because again, we've got Viscal and Edgar. I mean, they might be able to make it, but I don't think so. And, you know, we still have Simons up there. I don't think he's going to fall far enough back that I'll catch him, but I'm within 6 or 7 seconds of the other two in front of me, so that should put me back in the top 10. And as I said, once I get to 45 or so, I'll see where my tire wear is, and I think Stanek's going to push a bit. Because if he can maintain his form, which I'm hoping he'll be able to, then, yeah, I think that'll all be good, so. Alright, so we were within a second of 11th. Now we're further out again. So I think we're just catching in some cases on the turns. And the thing is, the one behind me, Ergon, is on mediums, and he's on worn mediums, so like I shouldn't be in any massive danger of falling any further back. But you know, I went 30 laps or so on the first set. I only need 23 or 24 on the second, so I definitely can push some at some point when it makes sense. I just don't know if waiting till 45 is going to be too much. So let's see, I'm 12th. Because, yeah, I'm just not really near enough cars. I have enough cars behind me, but the value of pushing now, I think, is really, really small. So I'll stick with what I'm doing. Crawford is struggling again. His form has fallen. Now, we're up a little faster than we've been going before, but that probably has to do with Stanek's form. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because the guys on medium tires, they may just try to push it because those can go 50 to 54 laps, so in theory they could make it. I just can't imagine the 10th and 11th place isn't going to try to do something and then be really aggressive in the center in the final section and push. And then I may have just enough to stay ahead of them. Just not really sure how that's going to work. Alright, Crawford's getting up. His form's improving. But he is definitely not consistent. Now Stanek's falling off a bit. He's down to 9.3. Hopefully his drop slows or reverses. Oh boy. Come on, Stanek. You can do better than this. I know you can. Stay focused. Let's see. What do we got for the weather? So yeah, it's going to get warmer. So that should theoretically help with the grip. But yeah, I think we're safe on the rain possibility. We're not really gaining anything. We're staying about a second and a half back from Viscal. My concern is we may not make up any spots if we don't have somebody pit and catch them on the pit, which is kind of sad. But at this point, I mean, we're 12th. The first place car is a third of a lap at least ahead of us. Like, you know, catching up into the top 3 or something is not going to be happening. Well, we're down to a second on 11th now. So, slow and steady, maybe. Alright, we're definitely closing, so I don't know if something, maybe they made a mistake at some point. But like I said, then from him to 10th is a long way. But it looks like what may be happening, because Viscal's tire wear compared to Edgar's is very different. So Viscal may be running pretty conservatively. Yeah, he's on green, which I think is... Yeah, he's conserving tires is what he's doing. So my guess is he's going to try to go to the end, where Edgar might not. But I should be able to push at some point where he's going to have to conserve and do whatever. So for now, we're going to stick with what we've got. I'm just a little nervous that Stanek's form is continuing to fall off. Last thing I need is him to be down in the yellow or something toward the end of the race when I really need him to go. But right now, yeah, he's still doing conserve. Because we also have some fuel to burn. Because, you know, running at normal pace, it tends to give you a little bit of a buffer. But I just need to be careful. And I think it's just going to be if I'm running at the risk of not at least hitting the top 10, but this is definitely a poorer outcome than I was hoping for. I just don't see that we're going to be anywhere near third place, which was obviously what we're promising the chairman that we're going to do. Alright, we're half a second. I mean, I think we are catching him, but once again, I think it's because of the conserving of tires. Now, is he running? Oh, he's running at a 10, so see, his form has gotten really good. Of course, now they have him pressing, which means he'll wear tires faster. But obviously he's expanding the gap here. Alright, just curious. I can't imagine, I don't know that anybody's going to do a second stop. But yeah, this is definitely a bit of a struggle as far as being able to have some easy results here. I had some hope. Alright, so did we just pass? Yeah. So I think Edgar pitted. Yes, that is what happened. So Crawford even got by. Barely, though. So Edgar's on fresh tires. I don't know that Crawford's going to be able to make it to the end, but he should be able to. Again, Simons is too far. Simons really have 3 M's in the middle of his name, or was that just an error in the mod, I think, of the names? Because I'm assuming these are the real F3, F2 drivers that existed last year. And okay, so Simons is pitting. But, like I said, he's not gonna, like, he's already got his tires changed. Like, we're not gonna get past him. It's just a matter, yeah, he only fell 3 spots, so it just is Vascal gonna move up, and I just feel if I start pushing now, it just feels too early. And this is not understanding the model yet, how this really works. So the problem is, like, Viscal might be able to make it the whole way. I mean, I'm still within a second. I'm not running any risk. But yeah, 13 laps. It would seem like maybe with 10 laps to go, I'm gonna say that. I think I'm gonna push both at that point, and we'll see what we can do. Because 10 laps is still, I mean, it's a 2.2 mile track. I mean, that's still gonna be getting up near 22, 23 miles, so. I mean, good news is my form, oh, they hit each other there. Wonder if that did anything to Viscal. But yeah, that was an ugly pit exit. This is now getting interesting, though, because now my 9th and... Because, yeah, Smoliar, he pitted a second time. Now, I'm surprised if you pit it that late that you didn't put super softs on. I certainly think I would have done that. I mean, I get you could probably push, like, hyper aggressively now, which is what he's doing. But, wow. It's just really tempting to, like, be like, let's go, because I might be able to get a couple then. I just really didn't think anybody would pit a second time. Alright, we're moving for the pass. We're trying hard. Inside. Question is, yeah, let's not get not get hurt here. What's his form? Alright, his form's still up there, but... See, now if he's Scal, I go ahead and pit soon. And now, is he pressing? Doesn't appear to be. So yeah, now we have 11 laps remaining, and that's again from the start-finish line. We're not there yet, so I gotta go around another lap and a third, and then I think I'll finally press. And then what I'm really keeping an eye out is like that 1.26 fuel that I have. When I press that, am I gonna be able to do that? Alright, he's pitting. So he'll certainly be waiting. So now I'm in my objective, but certainly well below where I would have liked to have been. Alright, so it looks like truly pitted. There's people in the back pitting again. Alright, so the 9th place car way out there. He's not, now he's conserving, which is interesting. So he like didn't conserve to begin with, but I think he'd have enough tires to run the whole way aggressively at that point, changing that late into softs. Alright, so we're coming up on the line here. So around the turn by the pit, and there we go. So now we are going to push and high, and we'll see what that does, because again, he's 4.2 seconds ahead of me. But at a minimum, I would think it'll at least keep me in the top 10. But we're at 1.29, that's where we were. We're already halfway around. We only went down a tenth. So like I may have been able to push a lot earlier than this. I don't know. I also don't know if I want to go crazy on the tires or not. It's at 66%. It feels like I could, but I don't know. That might be too much. So let me stay this way for a bit. I don't know that I'm really gaining much on the driver ahead of me. Well, Bierman stopped again. So some of these other drivers, like Colette and Das, like they may, like especially Das, he may stop again. We're close enough. That may give us another spot. He's got to be pressing too. He's not. He's conserving. So, I'm just surprised I can't do better and can't catch him. Down to 8 laps. Form's getting a little worse. We're down to 8.4. Right now, Crawford's keeping up. Oh, Das did pit, so that was a move. Question is, can Crawford catch him? Probably not, I would think. So what I can do... Let me see, I'm going to try this. 'Cause he's doing worse anyway. But I'm going to see what the fuel looks like then. And then we'll see how he does. But so it's more of a test if I'm really pushing him like that, what the fuel situation starts to look like. Because yeah, I'm only gaining like 0.1 or 0.2 seconds on small ER right now. And I just don't know. I mean, again, it's possible Colette might pit before, because this is where it's one of those where if I'm the computer, because like Crawford is the same right now in tire wear as number 7 Colette, and I get it's going to be a lot to keep him out, but like my plan is I'm keeping him out. So alright, I am going to switch. I'm going to go all out here. See if I can gain another spot. Because now we're down to 6 laps. I've still got half of my tire wear. You know, the fuel is the thing I'm really going to have to keep an eye on, but I would imagine, I mean, if I can back off on the fuel easily enough, and the tires if I need to, but oh, so we did pass. Did I miss a pass of DOS? I must have. I must have been changing my strategy or something, but let's see. Because if nothing else, I can get closer to Colette if he doesn't decide to stay out. But I'm within 3 seconds of Smolyar. So this is kind of the hope, is if I can really press here at the end with a driver with good form, if I can gain a spot or two. You know, I don't know that I can catch Colette or Leclerc if they don't pit. Leclerc isn't going to pit. Colette might decide that the tire wear is just too much. It's my hope. Alright, we're down to less than +1 on the fuel, so I do have to be careful. Because I think we're still at like, going to be at like 4 laps. How did Stanek suddenly go from 8 something to 5.3? The form fall off is not something I'm proud of here. That is for sure. Tire wear's getting bad, I get it, but we're down to the end. Like, it doesn't make any sense to bring you in. Yep, 4 laps remaining. Maybe he's just not good at being aggressive. I don't know. Because, yeah, I swear I was within 3 seconds. Now, once again, is Smolyar. I mean, he's kind of pushing. Alright, Colette is pitting. So, I should get by him here. Yep, so there they come out of the pits. They put on mediums, which... why? I mean, I get you can go aggressive the whole way, but why? But I'm guessing, at best, 8th is going to be it. I don't know that... like, I don't seem to be able to catch Smolyar, and I think he can push enough. Like, yeah, all of us are plowing ahead now with the aggressive fuel strategy, so that means, you know, it's probably achieving parity. Because, yeah, I'm almost still losing ground. That's interesting. Nani is pitting. I think they're going to stay ahead of us, yep. But they went on super softs, which would make sense, because now that they're only 2-3 seconds behind Leclerc, they may be able, in a couple laps on super softs, pushing super hard to make it and pass them and end up in the top 5. I was hoping maybe we could pull off a top 7, but I am pushing as hard as I can. I mean, the thing I guess I might have learned is, you know, I still have 0.5 on my fuel and 30%. I'm still in the green on my tires. So I might have been able to push a lap or two early, but I don't know that it would have mattered. Because at this point, we've got a little over 2 laps to go. Coming up on the straightaway and the start-finish line here. But we might end up, you know, still with like 0.3, 0.2. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. But yeah, I'm 4.5 seconds away from small ER, so unless something goes wrong, I just can't imagine. You know, and Crawford is, you know, I can't push his tires, but we're pushing on the fuel. So, an 8th place finish. I mean, again, we'll have met our sponsor objectives, but we're certainly not doing well on our team expectations. So, and small ER is, yeah, pushing hard on the tires. I mean, they're conserving the fuel a bit, but they'll be fine. Oh, good. And Crawford now drops to 12th. But yeah, everyone's cheering because we're on the final lap, and the, you know, I just went by the start-finish, and they're just about coming through, so race is just about over. Come on, don't fall to 13th. They're like literally right there, and he did. Alright, race ending. So we're probably going to be 8th and 13th. Not a wonderful thing. Now, Nani did not catch Leclerc, so that last minute pit strategy did not work. But here comes the start-finish line. There we go. Well done, everyone. Good race. And then, yeah, we just need to come in and be done. So, 4 cars to finish. And there we go. So there is Bierman from Prima. So this was kind of our strategy here. Looks like, alright. Oh, okay, I can go back. Like, I can't see like what happened earlier, but so let's see. They started on softs, and they did 2 changes. But it's like, did the super softs get them out far enough? I'm assuming this is the percentage where they had left. Because let's see, like, what did we have? Or is that, wait, that's the number of laps till, or no, that's the number of laps they used, so never mind. So they went 14, 18. So, interesting. Alright, so we're checking the cars. So scrutineering is complete. No rules broken. That is good. No, they had a time penalty. So that doesn't really help me that much, but a couple of these did as well. So I'm assuming that was because of their scrutineering decisions. So obviously we're in our position, but Stanek got some points. Again, because I think there's a laps led points that moved some folks around. So even though we finished, or wait, I think we finished 8th. All right, and then our team is 4th. So, not great. Alright, so team report, so we'll get some improvements here and there. I don't know why driver morale went down so much. But, so mechanic relationships got worse. So, expected result for was third, we came in fifth. Chairman got a little more unhappy, we're less marketable. So all in all, just not great. I mean, obviously they improved a bit here and there, but not great. Alright, kind of money is exactly what they like to see. So yes, we made money because of sponsor and so forth, but not doing terrific, that's for sure. And then, so we've got the roundup of Formula One. So Verstappen won for Red Bull. So one day we can hope to be with the major Red Bull team, but that's a long way away, I'm sure. So here we are, 8th and 13th. So we've got our improvements going on. Doing okay here. Before we head out, let's just clean up our mailbox. So let's see. So Bierman said saucy to the pole, car condition dropped 21%. It's going to take a day to fix. So that's far. Any new parts we want to build, we're working on that. Do you have a moment for questions for Sky Sports? Sure. So this was a challenging first race for your first time in charge of high tech, but the consensus among the press is that you perform well on the pit wall. So let's see. Say I'm not really about me. The drivers did well, so yeah, that increased their morale by 5% each. 5% each, so that is a good thing. So we'll finish the interview. We performed 2 pit stops. That's the benchmark we'll attempt to beat, 4.14. We had a mistake-free weekend. We have something going on in the pit crew. All right, I guess we've got a new option, but it's just, yeah, O'Grady. Just not sure. All right, and then Bierman takes a victory. So we've got 31 days till Imola. High-speed corners, deceleration, and top speed. So tires last a long time, and fuel burns medium. So that's always good. Just not sure if I want to, because his stamina is 71. This guy 11. I'm like tempted to grab this guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I am going to put him, where are they? Or are they not here yet? Oh, there's O'Grady. So I'm gonna swap them with these. So there we go. So we'll put O'Grady there. We'll just have to be careful because, you know, we gotta put some people in recovery. I mean, these guys aren't great. So we'll keep them. We're all good. I don't know that there's any other people we want. I mean, like the stamina of these folks, but it's not like they're exceptionally wonderful in any case. I mean, the 13s here are pretty good. But I think we're okay. But we've got our first weekend in the belt, under our belts. Let's see. Design team is waiting. So all we can do is design some things. Let's see. If I go to brakes, so 15 to max, 15. Let's see. Hold on. So I'm trying to see what I see here. Average components usually are the cheapest and quickest to build. So the red zone's negative. Let's see. See, it like won't let me change because I want to kind of see like if I do. So it's 16,000. So either way, it's 16. So it just seems like the brakes that we're creating are the same. So it would seem something that we have would be better. So let me build this part. Because I think a smaller red zone would be good. So we've got 9 days, 2 hours, so we'll have plenty of time there. Right, so the staff center and driver rates. Okay, this was the forecasting center we talked about. So yeah, we can do a lot of things there. Factory. So, just, I don't know, the $8 million, wow. So it'll shrink our design time and so forth. Just seems like I need some sort of an investment. Now this is a little less expensive because we can get gearbox development, and then this more unscouted drivers. The variety of drivers improves, but we're already at level 2. It would seem that the design center would be the logical thing to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I see, so then we'll get a test track. Alright, I'm going to try this. This might be bad, but we'll see how it goes. So there you go. Factory is upgrading. I guess that just stays up there. Oh wait, I thought I was doing the design center. Silly me. Oh well. Well, the factory's good too. So, no mail, I would imagine. So we're all set. Right, so this has certainly been, I know it's going to be a massively long episode. But yeah, I mean, I'm intending to kind of run this as a new series. Definitely a game that I enjoy. I don't know that it's really any easier to portray it. Obviously, if we're not watching the race, we're not going ahead, but I could, like, make it really short and skip, but then you're kind of missing any of the action in between, any of the decisions that are going on and so forth. So what I've seen in the past with most people who have covered this game in the past is they do just tend to run the races, and it seems the community that watches it wants to see the whole race. They kind of understand the situation. Obviously, if I was playing base game and so forth and not doing the long runs, that would make things shorter, but I'm thinking it's going to be more interesting to have, real teams, real sponsors and so forth. It just kind of adds a level of realism rather than just, hey, it's a Motorsports Manager simulation, and we're just dealing with all made up stuff, you know, versus the stuff that is clearly made up as we're going along. But we've got a good amount of work in progress. Once again, what I've been waiting for to get this thing going is this has way more depth than the mobile game does, as far as what you can do even with the car adjustments and all the choices you get to make and things you need to think about. So definitely think I will be enjoying this. Hopefully you will as well. Certainly drop me a like if you liked the video, or you know, want to encourage more of this. That will help. Likes also help it circulate. So since this is a new sim to the channel, you know, letting people know that the Mature Simmer's going to do some stuff on Motorsports Manager is also likely going to be helpful. And once again, the channel is always striving to expand, to have greater community so that we have more folks chatting and just more things going on in general. So if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate if you would do that as we grind our way to the next milestone of 1,000 subscribers. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up, and I will see you next time.